What is up, my YouTube friends? How's it going tonight? I hope everybody is doing absolutely awesome. I'm doing not too bad, at least. Oh, man. I'm really looking forward to answering your questions tonight. For those of you who are new here and are not familiar with the format, we have a form where you can answer questions. One of my moderators will drop that link down below. Probably the Logician or Tech Examine. That seems to be who's around tonight. We've got some folks from Texas. Simplicity's in the house. Blue-Eyed Skadee in the house. Oh, that's fantastic. And AJ Green, also in the house. Or just AJ's Greens. Or AJ's Green, whichever you want to call it. We mess it up every week. That's the fun of it. We've got the UK in the house. So for anyone who's not familiar with the formatting, you put your question in that link. We answer every single one of them in the order that we receive them. Your question will be answered unless it is full of foul language or some sort of hate speech, in which case it won't be answered, or it happens to have lots of information about your personal technical specs for your computer, in which case the answer of the question would only help you. Being that I probably don't actually have your equipment and that question only really helps one person in my entire audience, I generally tend to avoid those. So if your question specifically is about, I have an i7 with, 16 gig, 730, whatever. If you need to give me all that information to answer the question, it's probably not a question we're going to answer here. So just be aware of that. Other than that, we're going to have a freaking blast tonight. At least that's the rumor. That's the rumor. Where is everybody from this evening? I know we had some folks from Texas, and I did see somebody pop in say they were from the UK. Epic. That is so awesome. And Susgod Gamer says, yes, we should definitely open the, our question form. Susgod Gamer says, you've helped me. I helped you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And now I can't actually find the original question. Here it is. You've helped me so much with my YouTube channel. Well, I do appreciate that, Susgod Gamer. That's why we're here. That's what I love to do. We got folks from Utah, Louisiana, near Sacramento. That's cool. DeSoto, Texas, Brazil. We've got the Brazilian contingency in the house. That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, let's go ahead and open up those questions because it just would be right. And I have a feeling we're going to have some Dusty action tonight for sure, because he didn't get his treats before we went on, and usually we try to kind of get him all happy and then tuck him in so that he can be nice and quiet. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, as you will see right here as we bring Monica into the broadcast and we see Furry Tail. Hey, you know what, guys? Did you really come on to this live stream thinking that you were going to see Furry Tail tonight? Well, now you have it. There you go. So, oh, man. It is so awesome to be here. How are you doing, honey? I know how excited you were to live stream tonight.
Doing okay. I'm doing okay. It was kind of a long day. So, hopefully we can have some fun tonight and get
no matter what we do, Dusty's covered by your thing. Let's move that up. There we go. Hey, Dusty. Dusty. What's up, buddy? I can't get him to look at the camera. There he goes. There he goes. He's got to look at the camera. He's like, what is this stupid thing, and why is it getting the attention that I so rightly deserve?
I know.
That's what's going on right here, folks. He's demanding his attention. So, do we have any questions?
I don't know. Dusty's in the way. I can't tell. Let me see. Sorry.
I can see that we've got 40 folks in the chat and only 21 likes. That's a lot of broken thumbs. So, hopefully we can fix that. But I know one thing that always helps. Always helps. So what I'm going to do for every single person in the chat who's out there, and I know you're going to leave those thumbs up now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of your virtual popcorn and I'm going to go ahead and embiggen it right now We are going to embiggen that virtual popcorn. You are going to be able to have the largest bag that you could possibly imagine right now. Do I have butter? You know what? I don't know. Your virtual popcorn can pretty much have anything that you want as long as it makes it completely edible. You know, that's all I care about. Oh boy. So now that we've got the virtual popcorn out of the way, and hopefully we're gonna bust up some likes, maybe we can get some questions out of the way. What do you think, hon?
I'm thinking that's probably a good idea. We should probably get it started. We have 6
Awesome.
questions to start.
Super. So the mods are going to pop that question form in there one more time, just for those of you. We will get to every single question that's asked, and they will all come in the order that they are received. So there you go.
That's
Let's
right.
do this. And a big thanks already early on to my mods, because you guys do an amazing job. And we always get spammers and everything else coming in here. They try to keep it. They try to keep the stream totally legit. So there you go. Let's do this, hon.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, so the first question is from Matthew Kelly.
Well, hello, Matthew.
He says, how do you get a wasted screen to pop up as wasted in live streams and OBS? I saw Venge on YouTube and Twitch had the wasted screen used in the stream when someone used the command in the chat.
Okay, well, I could tell you that there are ways to put chat command stuff in there. Let's go over to our tutorial screen. So basically, I don't know what the wasted screen is. I'm sure that it's a common thing, some sort of meme that the young folks are talking about. Now, I don't know specifically what screen it is or whatever, but it's from GTA 5. Okay. Well, I don't know what the wasted screen is, but if you wanted something to be triggered from the chat, there are ways to do it. They're probably using something like, let's see, what would they be using? There's a couple of different bots out there. I think one's called StreamerBot. They might be using Leorian board. And what those do is those aggregate the chat and look for those sorts of cues, and they set them off. If you were to be using Polypop can take cues from chat responses and that sort of stuff. So there are ways to do it. But as far as how it pops up, it basically uses a browser source just the same as the browser sources that I use. If I go over to my main screen, you might see them come up. The question form thing is still on. Okay. So anytime that I get a browser source response, it'll change the names up here. It will put a little fire thingy that goes around when someone subscribes, things like that. Those are all things that you can do through Stream Elements, and you can do them through Streamlabs. I don't know if Stream Elements has chat bot response type things like what you're talking about, but I do know that StreamerBot and Leorian board have ways to set those up for Twitch. There's nothing really out there that I know of that will do it for YouTube just yet, but I suspect it's coming eventually. I'm pretty sure that YouTube is going to start to get on that sort of thing as well. So hopefully that helps you out. I know I can't specifically show you because I'm not actually on Twitch, but it is something that you can do. And if you want to do it, all you have to do is download the screen you're looking for, and then load it into Leorian board or one of those, and set the chat command that you want to set it off, and then it's and load it into your browser source, and that should do it. Maybe I'll put together a video on that at some point. Let's get another question. Thanks, Mike. I think it was Mike. Wasn't it Mike?
Matthew.
Was Mike? Matthew. I was so close. I was so close. Well, it's all Mike to me.
It's all Mike to you. Well,
so, yeah, look
what?
Look at how this is working. He's just gonna stare at you.
Yeah, I know. He hasn't moved since I asked the question, so.
There you go. He's waiting for his question to get answered, apparently.
Okay, second question is also from Matthew Kelly. And he says, how do you add your own emotes to YouTube and Twitch?
Okay, so I actually... Oh, go ahead, honey.
He saw a YouTube trailer of Owned 3D TV that allows you to create your own emotes and use them to stream.
Absolutely, and I did it. I love Owned. It's actually, if we go over to my main screen, Eventually, this will rotate around. They are a sponsor to the channel, and you can download emotes and that sort of stuff from OWN. There is a link in the description down below if you'd like to do it. I also did a video where I showed you how to add emotes to YouTube. So if Tech Examine or the Logician could grab that video and toss it in the chat for Matthew, he can go and check it out. It shows you exactly how to create your own emotes if you want to, and actually you can create your membership banners as well, and you can actually and it actually shows you how to upload them into YouTube. It takes you to the page where it tells you all the specs that you need to have and that sort of stuff. Now, we're not creating great emotes. I can tell you that right now. I show you the basics because it's kind of like pixel art type stuff. But, you know, the stuff that you get from Owned is next level. It's great stuff. And pretty much anybody's going to be able to find the kind of stuff that they're looking for if you just want to download them. And like I said, those links are in the description. And, yeah, definitely, if you're going to use Owned, I recommend it. It's good stuff. All right, babe. Go ahead.
Okay. For Matthew's third and final question, he says, it's streaming related. How do you get a community tab on your channel?
Okay. So, let's see. I don't know for sure, and somebody was asking a question. Just so you know, there's a question form. The guys are going to drop the question form in there so you can ask your questions. That way we take them all in order. The community tab, I believe, is one of the things that originally started out where you had to have 1,000 subscribers or something like that. I think it's 500 subscribers now, possibly. I know they lowered the threshold, but you have to have like 500 subscribers in order to get the community tab. And then it just appears one day. So I'm not 100% totally sure on that because I had thought that they had just eliminated any requirements to the community tab and they were giving it to everyone. But it might still be 500. I don't know for sure. So it's still 500. Michael says so. So there we go. And of course, you saw my little notification that just went around and exploded, and we got a new subscriber for someone whose name I can't pronounce. But if you're in the chat, say hello. Let's go and get another question.
Okay.
All right, babe.
Next
there
question.
He is. He's checking out. He's checking out that window behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. He's checking out everything. Next question is from BGG.
Your back smells good.
I guess. What are you doing?
He's the star of the show.
Okay, question from BGG Grooming, asking if I have a guest on, the chat can hear us talk in the opening scene. How can I talk with the guest during the opening scene while the countdown is going and the chat cannot hear us until I switch to the main scene? I only have an overlay from Stream Elements with a countdown timer and a media source playing some music in the opening scene.
Interesting. Well, let's go over here. So I can't possibly imagine why, if you just have a countdown timer in the opening scene, they would be able to hear you. They shouldn't. Essentially, let's create a setup that you would be using here. So we're going to rename this. We're going to call this one countdown. All right. And what I'm going to do in my countdown scene is I'm going to go ahead and load a media source. We'll just use my countdown S, and we'll go here. And let's see if I can actually find it without taking too long. Let's see here. Here it is. So we'll put my countdown in here, and then we'll loop it. So if we're doing a countdown or something like that, that's all that's in there. There doesn't need to be anything else in there. If you have other audio stuff that's showing up on your stream, it's going to be right here in your audio mixer. While my countdown is going on and everything else, I'm talking to my remote producer, Michael. I'm talking to Monica. I can hear them in my headphones. Even now, they can talk to me, and the stream can't hear it. The reason why they can't hear it is because it's not in my audio mixer. As long as the audio is not in your audio mixer, they can't hear it. Now I can change the stuff that is in my audio mixer if there's some reason why I want to have it in there. Then I can go in advanced audio properties and I can set it up so that it's monitor only and I can't hear it at all. But if you do that, that particular audio source is going to be monitor only in every scene, because this is specific to your thing. So if you set up a source so it's monitor only, it's only going to be monitor, and only you will be able to hear it. They don't need to be hidden, but you can't have audio sources for your microphone or your guest microphone. So basically your microphone and desktop audio or whatever you're using to capture your guest audio, they certainly can't be on your countdown screen, or or the audience will be able to hear them. So what I would just do is remove those from your countdown screen. Your countdown should just be the countdown. Chances are, unless you have music playing there shouldn't be anything in your audio mixer. In my case, what do I do? So in my wait screen, before I run my countdown timer and stuff, which all runs on an advanced scene switcher, so it's all automatic. I just push a button to start the stream and it runs through my stuff. But on my initial wait screen, let me show you what I'm using here. So I have, let's see, starting soon right here. And this has audio that I don't like. I can tell you right now, I don't like it. So I mute the audio for the video, and I click the plus and I go into my media sources again, and I browse to the music that I'm looking for. In this case, I actually use my particular music that I did for the intro, and I loop it, and there we go. So now we have two audio sources. The audio source for this video, which is muted, and we have the audio source I want the audience to hear. But there's nothing else in here that should be anywhere else. So there you go. If you see audio sources if your audience is hearing you, they have to be in this audio mixer somewhere. So you've got to figure out why that is and remove those audio sources, because there isn't really any reason why you or your guest should be in the opening sequence at all. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully it'll help you determine exactly what is causing the issue. Somebody's giggling at the name of that music. Hey man, I wrote that music a long time ago, and it doesn't have any lyrics, so it's just called Fat Beat. What can I say? It seemed pretty fat to me at the time. Who knows? People seem to like it. I've had people try to buy that song off me. I don't know why. So there we go, hon. We got another question?
I do have another question. Actually, you have another question. This question comes from Chumbo Latinomi.
Hello, Chumbo.
It says
Latinomi.
Latinomi. OBS seems to not detect my mic after all the updates. Has it happened to you? And what should I do? I tried a few things without success.
So I'm assuming that your mic is a USB microphone. Obviously, I can't be sure because I don't have your equipment. I'm not sure what the update is. Right now, I'm using 27.2.3 in OBS. I'm having no problems with microphones, but I get my microphone directly from a camera card. So let me show you when I move over to my tutorial screen. If I add my microphone in here, I'll just add it with the video capture device. In this case, I'm using Snap Camera. And I scroll down here, and I go to use custom audio device, and I select my microphone that's coming off of the cam link right here. So there we go. So, and you can see it's functional. I have other cameras, but I don't know if they're hooked up to here, so I can't really see. I know my webcam that I do have. If I add my other camera that I do have connected to the machine, I'm pretty sure that this microphone never worked, but we'll see. This is a super mega cheap webcam, so let's see if it works. Yeah, you can. Oh, you know what? It is working. So there you go. What's that? He did say what? Yeah, well, this video capture device too is based on a USB mic, but let me see. Do I even have a USB mic here that I could test? I don't know if I have one sitting right here. I don't think I do. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a USB mic sitting right here, but possibly while I get the next question, I'll rummage through my shelf and see if I have one that we can test, and we'll go from there. But I haven't run into any problems with adding microphones in any new version so far. So unless there's something past 27.2.3 that I don't know about, yeah, there we go. So let's go get another question.
Okay.
All right, babe, go ahead.
Question from Happy Squatch HD. Can you make a video on how to stream on an ultra-wide monitor? How to get the ratios correct so the picture doesn't look all wonky and such?
Excuse me. Okay, so I know the problem he's running into. All right. Can I make a video on it? Probably not. But what I can do is I can tell you that the smartest thing to do is to set the actual aspect of whatever you're playing. Be it, let's see, let's say you're playing a game and you have an ultra wide monitor. So you have the game set up to run full screen on the ultra wide monitor. You're probably going to want to set the resolution on that game to the proper resolution for what you're trying to stream, be it 1920 by 1080 or even 4K, something that's not a wonky, something that's not 16 by 9. You got to set the game to something that's not to something that's 16 by 9, and if you set the game to that, then you know when you bring it into OBS, it will look fine. If you, assuming that your OBS is set at 1920 by 1080 or 4K or whatever you're setting it at. So you have to set the game resolution to the same resolution that you're streaming at. If you're going to use a stretched wide monitor or something like that, that's fine. You can use that monitor, but the game resolution still has to be set properly at the resolution that you're going to be streaming at. So, all right, let's. I hope that helps you out. It's pretty easy to do. So, there we go. Let's get here. All right, babe.
Question from Nick Sanity Play.
Hello, Nick.
Can you stream 4K PS5 with Elgato HD 60S Plus?
Okay. Let me go over here. So the Elgato HD 60, I believe. All right. So I have a cam card. I have the Cam Link Pro, and one of the reasons why I can't stream like my PlayStation or my Xbox or anything like that in 4K is because they default to 4K 60. And most of the cards that I'm aware of will only do 4K 30, which means that they'll automatically default to the lower resolution. In other words, they'll do 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second, but they can't do 4K 30 because that's not the signal. That's not the type of signal that the PlayStation will send them or the Xbox will send them. So it automatically forces it to 1920 by 1080, and I'm kind of assuming that the HD 60 is the exact same problem. It will probably do 4K streaming, but only at 30 frames per second, which means when you put your Xbox or your PlayStation into it and it's sending a 4K 60 signal, your Xbox or your cam card is automatically defaulting it to 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second, because that is the best resolution that it will do at 60 frames per second. And unfortunately, there's no way to tell the Xbox or the PlayStation, hey, I only want 30 frames per second. You can't. So it's pretty much just the way it's going to default. And I'm relatively certain that the HD 60 that you're referring to works exactly the same as the cam card that I have in my other machine. So that's my experience with it. I don't know. I don't have the HD 60, so I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. The best you're going to get out of it is 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second. Let's see. The Logician says the HD60S will accept 4K at 60, but will down res to 1080. Or, yeah, 1920 by 60, I think. Yeah, I don't know. If it accepts it, it shouldn't down res it, as far as I know. But like I said, my experience is that it's always going to default to 1080 because that's what it does 60 frames at on my cam card. If the HD60 does 60 frames per second at 4K, theoretically, you should be able to stream in 4K at 60. So what I meant is that I can't stream at 4K 30 or 60. Huh. Well, that would be a matter of how you have your OBS set up. In other words, when you're bringing your, let's go over to the tutorial screen. When you're bringing your stuff into OBS, I'm going to go into settings and I'm going to go into my video. What is your base canvas set at? Is this set to 4K? I know it only says 1920 by 1080, but I can go in here and type whatever the heck I want. So you're going to put this resolution to the 4K resolution, and then you're going to put this resolution right here to the 4K resolution, and then you're going to give it the frames per second that you want, and then it will stream at that resolution, that frames per second. If you don't have your canvas and your output scaled canvas resolution set to that, then it won't stream in 4K. So hopefully that's what you're going to do. All right, Blue Eyed Skadee, thank you so much. Yeah. It will accept 4K 60, but won't encode at 4K 60, according to the Elgato website. It will stream at 4K. Yeah, so the thing is luckily, it doesn't do the encoding. Your encoder card on your computer will do the encoding. So as long as you have OBS set up properly, it should work. Yes, you can type in that box, my friend. You can make it whatever resolution that you want. Microwave wants to know why I'm an anime character. Well, I'm an anime character because my friend Blue Eyed Skadee donated, and I really do appreciate it. It helps us keep going. Let's see if Blue Eyed Skadee left a message for us. I think I kind of let Blue Eyed Skadee down last night because usually we go live and we play on my Twitch channel. And this week, well, we didn't get to do it. Oh my gosh, Nick Santee, thank you so much. Wow, that's awesome, thank you. Oh, Nick Sanity? Nick Santee, Nick Sanity. You know what? Long term, we'll have to see how that really turns out. But thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. And Blue Eyed Skadee says, I love your videos we play on Thursday. And I do. I enjoy playing on Twitch. We're probably going to take a little bit of a break from Twitch. And I'm going to tell you why. I originally started to go onto Twitch because I wanted to learn how it works. I wanted to get affiliate or whatever it's called on Twitch so that I could do testing with a lot of the chat bots and things like that. And then I just started playing games on Twitch and I love it and I'm having fun, but I haven't done the testing that I need to do or had the time to actually set up the stream so I can really push it to the next level. So what the plan is whenever I get the stream updated and I have chat things to test and things like that, then we're going to stream so that we can kind of push the envelope and it can have more than just a I'm having fun streaming games thing. I definitely want to use it to test. Otherwise, that time for me personally is better spent probably working on new video content and things like that. So I need to buckle down and create new assets for my live stream over there. And then as soon as I do that, Blue Eyed Skadee, you and of course our other play partner, Onion, will be the first ones to know about it. Definitely. And where is Onion tonight, by the way? I missed that guy. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for the donation. I really, really do appreciate it. And I'm talking both Blue Eyed Skadee and Nick Sanity Play. Not Nick Santee. I almost got it wrong. Well, no, I did get it wrong. I'm pretty good at getting names wrong. That's one of the things that I really excel at. Thank you, guys. All right. So what's next, babe?
Okay. Next
Oh,
question.
wait, hold on. Exant asked a simple question. Do you dabble in VR at all? Yes, my first couple of streams on Twitch were VR streams, and I did a video showing how to do chat in VR and also alerts in VR. So if you're interested in that, the Logician or Tech Examine can drop the link to that video in there if you want to learn how to actually put your alerts and chat in VR. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay.
Dr.
Well,
Rob Allen is in the house, by the way.
Dr.
Uh oh,
Rob.
we're we're going back here. Yeah, Smash Boy says, "Have a beer on me." Well, thank you, Smash Boy. I really do appreciate it. There is nothing I like more than having beers. There's no question about that. In fact, Monica and I went to Dave and Buster's on Monday. Monday was tax day, so we went to see my accountant. And then after that, I'm like, we're going to have a beer, man. It's been one of those weeks. And so it was great. Do you like Hot Pockets since I'm a microwave? I used to eat Hot Pockets all the time, but they are not a thing that I have anymore, so 4K streaming sounds like a useless luxury. Camtaro DS. I would definitely say that that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Yes, especially when 90% of the people that are watching them are on cell phones and stuff like that are watching them in 430. It's a useless luxury. You could definitely call 4K streaming first world problems. First world problem. Oh, man. Yes, Dr. Rob Allen is in the house, and it looks like it's the real Dr. Rob Allen, which is totally awesome. Thank you so much, Smash Boy. I really do appreciate it. Let's go get another question.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Question coming from AJ's Green Topics. Not
Oh, it's
AJ
AJ
Green.
Green's
Not
topics.
AJ Green's
I
Topics.
love
The
AJ
Empire.
Green, man.
There you
He's
go.
awesome. That dude can catch.
Okay. Question is I went back and changed my titles and thumbnails. I received personal help from YouTube channels like yours, and my channel has been growing. How often should I get a channel review?
Huh, interesting. Well, let me go over here and talk a little bit about this. um, can I just tell you and be honest? I get a channel review pretty much 3 days a week. Michael and I, Michael is Tech Examined, and I get on the phone and we talk about what my videos are doing, what trends we're seeing, what things are working, what things aren't working. We literally do that about 3 times a week. Because if we see anything that's interesting that we can exploit or something that's not working, we like to know about it. But needless to say, I can work with Michael to do channel review type stuff because I work on his channel, he works on my channel, and we have the kind of relationship where if he tells me I'm an idiot, I realize that it's coming from a place of love. You have to if you're gonna I guess what I'm saying is you want to get a channel review from other people that you legitimately trust are going to give you the honest truth, irregardless of whether you really want to hear it. Because most of YouTube, most of unsuccessful YouTubers especially, are people that say, well, my stuff is great. I worked for 27 hours on this. And, you know, there's a lot of questions that they never really ask themselves, like who's the video for and, you know, who is my audience and things like that. If you have a sounding board or another person who's having success on YouTube to work with you on the algorithm and all those things, it's the kind of stuff that eventually we want to do through one of the membership program pieces or eventually a course. Is we want to help people not only to learn what they should be doing to find success, but to also give them the opportunity to set up partners within the group so that they can do what Michael and I do. Because there is no way that I'm where I am today without Michael. And that's because we review what we do on my channel and on his channel 3 or 4 days a week. So how often is too often for a channel review? And I would say if you're trying to be successful on YouTube, it's not a job. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. Monica and I talk about my channel. Michael and I talk about my channel. There's probably not an hour or two of my waking hours on any given day where we're not having some kind of discussion about something that's going on with my channel or with YouTube or with something. Um, in order to find success on something like YouTube, I think in some ways you have to be obsessed. You have to be obsessed with learning as much as you can and with always consistently trying to get better. And with that, you've also got to learn to take criticism. Sometimes it's hard. I'm definitely not the best criticism taker in the world, but I can always take criticism from Michael because we've worked together for so long that I know when he says that sucks. Well, first of all, he's coming from a place of love, and it doesn't matter how long I worked on it. He's just telling me the truth because I need to hear it. Talk MU, thank you so much. Talk MU says, you and Monica are awesome, bro. Love you from the UK. Well, thank you, Talk MU. I really do appreciate it. And Michael just told me I have to go back and finish that thought. So I definitely will, but I can't get away with that without saying thank you to Talk MU for the super chat. I really, really do appreciate it. That's the kind of stuff that helps us keep doing this. Keeps doing this, and I say it all the time in my videos, but I couldn't possibly do this whole YouTube thing and the obsession and everything else that it takes without you guys. It wouldn't be possible. So, thank you. I really, really do appreciate it. All right, so like I said, the best way to work yourself into channel reviews and that sort of stuff. I don't know if you're working with a group. There's a couple of different really great ones like Jumpstart, and there's another gentleman on the internet that does that sort of stuff. But you should probably be looking at your analytics 2 or 3 times a week to really keep up on what's going on and all that sort of stuff. And the biggest problem, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's the biggest problem with having a smaller YouTube channel where maybe your video is only getting 30 views or 60 views or whatever. And I know you guys are laughing right now because my channel gets a lot of views, but I spent 2 or 3 years where if my videos got 100 views, it was a great video. But 100 views, if I'm being perfectly honest, isn't enough views for you to really be able to look at your analytics and say, yes, this was good. It's just not. So you kind of have to always assume that if you're not getting 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 views or whatever, that you're not good enough just yet. And probably the area that most people don't focus on that they should is your titling and your thumbnail, because those are the first things that people see. YouTube will definitely share videos that people click on, and they click on thumbnails and titles. So if you're struggling and you're only getting 50 views, 30 views, 20 views, 100 views on your content, keep doing great ideas and keep trying to push forward to create better content, but really focus. In fact, come up with ideas for thumbnails and titles before you even film your video, and it will dramatically help the reach of your content. It will dramatically help the reach of your content. Less than 2,000 views equals the luck of the click. Best day ever? I don't know if you could say that. I mean, you can easily develop a small audience of 2,000 people, and that's great. I did that for almost 2 years. Almost everything that got views on my channel was directly through the audience that I grew personally. It wasn't till about 3 years in where I finally figured out, hey, you know what? If I do what the algorithm wants me to do, then YouTube will just share my content and I don't have to keep going out on Twitter and talking to people playing that game. And it takes a while to figure it out, man. It does. But good luck to you, AJ. I really hope that you could figure it out. And once Michael and I get our course finished, I'm going to be so excited to be able to share it with folks, because I'm really hoping that it brings the kind of relationship that Michael and I have from a YouTube perspective. I hope we can give that gift, plus the knowledge that we have about the analytics and the way that YouTube works, to other people, so they could find the same kind of success. But like I said, it's not a job, it's an obsession. So, and Monica will attest to that. probably right now. Right?
Pretty much. That's all you do. That's all he does is YouTube. That's it.
Yep. But you know what? We love it. I love it. I love it. And you love the audience.
I do. I do. I enjoy doing this and the interaction with everybody that comes into the chat. I think it's a lot of fun. So we'll be here as long as you guys will be here, or vice versa. So um, okay,
All
we're
right.
gonna ask the next question, which actually leads into this really well. It's from Dragon Squad, who's wanting
Hello,
to know
Dragon Squad.
how do you make your thumbnails?
How do I make my thumbnails? Okay. So I've done some videos, especially older videos that might actually have been sunset and removed off my channel, where I showed folks how to use free tools to make their thumbnails. Um, I even think I might have a video on there that gives you thumbnail templates that I have stored on one of my websites way back in the day, which could still be available. I'm not really sure. But essentially, my thumbnails were so bad for so long that I have really, it just is what it is. You kind of develop your own style. I personally do my thumbnails in Photoshop, but you could easily do your thumbnails in Pixlr or something like that. Essentially, when you are creating an idea for a video, um, let me see if I can figure out an example. Um, what videos do I have coming up on my docket here? Just so I can, you know what, I can't look. I think I have a video that's probably going to be titled something like 5 epic visual tools for OBS, something similar to that. And before I even create the video, because my videos are kind of formatted all the same, people seem to like that format. There's no real reason to change the format of the videos. What I do need to get better at is my thumbnails. So I'll try to come up with ideas for my thumbnails beforehand. One thing that you notice as you get better and better at your thumbnails is if I look at stuff the first time and it looks good, then I really dig in. Okay, so how can I make it better? Can I put an outline around myself to bring me off the page a little more? Are there elements in this thumbnail that need to be smaller or bigger? For me, the most incredible thumbnails out there are the ones that look like that are the ones where you're looking at them and you're like, how did they get all that information into the thumbnail? And if you can create a thumbnail that's not cluttered, that tells a story, those are the best kind of thumbnails. So you always kind of got to start from the very beginning and come up with a solid idea and work from there. So that's how it works for me. And I really wish, to be honest with you, that I did a better job with my thumbnails. But for the most part, I come up with an idea in my head, I lay it out on Photoshop, and then I send it to Michael, and then he comes back and says, that looks pretty good, which basically means to me, okay, that format is okay. We're telling the right story. Usually after that, I go back, I modify my imaging if it's on the thumbnail to increase the visibility and the pop, the contrast and the color. And I'll add outlines and I'll add accents to it that kind of take it a little further. And yeah, usually Michael's about as good at judging good thumbnails as I am, which is to say we're just not very good at it. We're just not very good at it, but you never get better at it if you don't keep trying and keep playing and seeing what works. So that's kind of how I do it. I wish I had a specific do this and you will win your thumbnails. I don't, man. I'm horrible at it. My click-through rate, man, if I could get a good click-through rate, I could conquer the world. Oh, let's get another question. All right, babe, what you got?
It just takes a click-through rate to conquer the world. Is that
Yes.
it?
You could conquer the world with a good click-through rate. Dragon
Awesome.
Squad, I appreciate that. Hopefully that was at least somewhat helpful as to my thought process going through what I'm doing. Oh, man.
Okay,
You're
next one.
flying, honey.
I
Microwave is
know.
scared for you.
I see that. Well, I'm pretty high up, so I just won't look down. I should be okay. Okay, Sage Rage has a question. What's the easiest way to add music to live stream, say for gaming? NCS music.
I don't know what NCS music is, but we have a sponsor. They occasionally appear up here. You'll also notice those sponsor type stuff if we go to some of my donation screens or my super chat. I went mute. Oh, there we go. Look at that. How did I manage to mute myself? Oh, you know what? I probably pressed the wrong button. Oh, I'm muted. That was fun. Yes, I could see that. You know what I need to do to get my chat rate up? I need to mute myself and talk for like 30 seconds. And then I've got 47 people telling me, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It works every time. Yeah, Michael and Monica can still hear me, so they wouldn't have noticed either. Thank you so much for letting us know in the chat, guys. I really do appreciate it. What happened was I just hit the wrong button on the Stream Deck. But now you're going to have to remind me of the question so I can go back to the very beginning. Oh, DMCA free music. Stream Tunes down below in the in the description. And let me see if I'm going to go to their webpage here so I can show you really quickly. Let's see. So I can show you a couple of different ways that you can use their music if you wanted to. Let's go over to our tutorial page. You don't have to subscribe to anything. You don't have to do anything. This music is, like it says here, DMCA free and safe music you can use on your streams or anything like that. You go in here and view the playlists. So you can just click on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you want, Amazon Music. You can play the playlist right on there during your live stream and you don't have to worry about anything. The new one is rock. It's obviously not up yet on some of the playlists. But let's say you wanted to use it in your videos. You can do that as well. You can just go to content creators and you can go to download tunes right here. And you can download them onto your hard drive, the ones you like, and use them in your actual videos. They don't cost anything. They're totally free. And you know what the best part is? Look at that. I'm right there too. Isn't that cool? You know what the best part is about Stream Tunes, though? You know, if you tell them you want something, they're going to try to help you and all that stuff. But they also donate to Music Counts. And this basically helps to keep music programs alive in educational schools in Canada and that sort of thing. And to me, that's really awesome. Now, I'm not from Canada, and there are companies that do that in America as well, but they are a Canadian company, so they should serve the Canadian people. And I just think that's awesome. So you just play their music, you get to use it for free, and for doing that, they donate money. And to me, that's just awesome. So if you want to use DMCA free music and you want to check it out, definitely do so. The link is in the description. And that's a great question. Thank you so much. That's what I would use. For a lot of my videos, I also use Epidemic Sound, which is a paid service. If you're not familiar with it, you can check it out. I don't have a link in the description or anything, but I do use Epidemic Sound from time to time as well. So let's get another question. Uh-oh, Microwave is probably going to get seasick from this one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on. We're over here. We've got Merle Harmon says, this is for teaching me how to use the green screen with no green screen. Merle, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Just let me know which method of green screen without a green screen do you use? Are you using the NVIDIA method? Are you using the plug-in method? Or are you using the Snap Camera method? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested. In fact, anyone who's using any of my green screen without a green screen things, let me know in the comments how you're using it. Are you using it? Which method are you using? Because I'd really be interested to know which one is really helping. Okay, so he's using the plugin. Do you notice or do you have problems with the plugin spiking your CPU usage at all? Because that was the biggest complaint about that. And so I did a more recent video where if you have an NVIDIA video card, you can do it and it doesn't spike your CPU, but you're having no problems. Merle, that's awesome, and I'm so glad that I was able to help. Thank you so much. By the way, that is my first million view video. A million views. You must be kidding, right? Some moron, you know, sitting in a chair in a goofy studio got a million views. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Thank you, Merle. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Oh my goodness. Using the Teams green screen. That works as well, Smash Boy. How do I do this? Well, you can find out if you just ask in the form. If you don't know what the form is, the Logician or Tech Examine can drop it in there, or even Dr. Rob Allen can drop it in there so you can ask your question. Let's go get another question. I'm Smash Boy. I'm telling you right now, 1 million views is amazing. I never in a million years would have thought it could have possibly happened. And so when it happened, it was like, oh my gosh, that right, honey? It's like,
Yes.
that really happened.
That
It's a
really
thing that
happened.
happened. It looks chilly there.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit warmer though, because I can see some snow falling off trees, so it must be warming up. But
Probably not. Not where we
Nah.
live. We're all gonna die frozen.
it's going to get there. It's coming. The warm weather is coming next week. I think we'll be okay.
I doubt
I
it.
think we will survive.
We'll see.
All right. All right. This question comes from B Holler 95.
Well, hello, bee hauler. Do you think that means that he puts all the bees in a truck and takes them on a ride, like a road trip? Hey guys, let's go. We're gonna take the bees on a... That's what I thought it was, but anyway, I could be wrong. He'll have to let us know in the chat.
It's not B Holler. It's
No?
B Holler.
Oh, so he's
Like
yelling at
H-O.
the bees.
Yes, something like that.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to switch over to the other thing for this. Last year, was it? I got stung by a bee for the first time in my life, right?
Yes. Like 6
Yeah.
times.
I
Right.
look like a moron tripping over myself running in from the backyard as bees got dangerously close to my private area, right? So I ran into the house after falling. I'm pretty sure my shoulder has never actually recovered from that. I'm sure I looked like a crying little 9-year-old as I ran into the house, right?
Well, I was on another part of the yard and I just saw you start to flail about, and I'm like, what is he doing? What is happening over there?
Uh-huh. Flail about. That's pretty much sums it up right there. It's almost like the time when we got attacked or almost got attacked by the skunk coming in the yard and I almost yanked your arm out of the socket.
You didn't yank it. You pretty much just dropped my hand and left me standing there.
so,
That's what-
so if you want to know if I'm the big brave guy, there you have it, right there. I left Monica to get sprayed by the skunk. Well, I made a beeline for not here.
Yes, but just so you know, I did not get sprayed. I actually did not see the skunk. He happened to see it, and he dropped my hand and he took off toward the house, and I was just like, "What? What's
Yeah.
happening here?"
I did a lot of flailing about on that one too. But so then 2 days later, I put on the same pants I had on when I got the bee attack, and then one stung me literally like a few centimeters from a really private area. 2 days later.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was not a good experience at all.
Yeah, that was bad.
Thank you, Bee Hauler, for letting me live that again. Let's get the question, baby.
You never know what's going to trigger a memory.
You never do. That's not a
Okay.
memory I wanted triggered, but you know.
Oh, okay. So B Holler's question is, he says in your newest video about removing your background with the virtual green screen, I followed the steps in order. as the video was made. Once done, the virtual green screen showed up in the filter just as the video showed, but after using it on my current video source, it didn't remove the background.
Okay. You know, it's funny because I just started working on another video where I'm using that. And so the first time I was in there and I set it up and it worked great. It looked awesome. I exited out of OBS and I came back in and it stopped working. So what I did was I just right click, go to filters, turn off the little eyeball, turn the eyeball back on, and it started working again. So if you have the problem where for some reason it stops working for you, you might have to just kind of refresh it. I know that the new version of OBS actually has like a hotkey refresh where you can refresh things like that. I don't know if this is a perfect example of that, but they do have a hotkey for it that you could turn it on and off. So you could probably set up a hotkey so you could turn it on and off in case it were to happen during a stream. Now, I've only ever seen it happen on startup, and then after that, it seemed to work just fine. But there you go. Does it have to go into the plug-in folder? No, because it works. It works as a. It's a part. All right, so I need to know. I'm assuming that you're talking about the one that uses the NVIDIA graphics card. If you're talking about the one that uses the NVIDIA graphics card, that is physically part of the StreamFX plugin. If you're talking about the one that's just a standalone plugin, then yes, that does have to go into the plugin folder. But the as long as you have StreamFX installed, that's all you need for the NVIDIA one. And I had a very similar situation where I just turned it off and turned it back on, and then it started working again. So hopefully that'll help you out. Luckily, once you're in and it's working, it's working. I never saw it like stop working during a stream or while I was using it. I only ever saw it not start working when I booted into OBS. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's go get another question. What's up, babe?
Okay, Blue-Eyed Skidee has a question.
Oh wait, hold on. Break and build. Do you have a link to the standalone plugin? If you're talking about the green screen without a green screen, Michael or the Logician, can you put in the original link to the green screen without a green screen video, please? Go ahead, honey. Microwave wants you to run. He doesn't want
I
you
know,
to
I'm looking at that myself. Okay, so Blue-Eyed Skidee's question
it's probably
is,
nice on the Serengeti these days, but oh my goodness.
We got a new member. Now, Papa or Project K became a member. Well, thank you so much, Project K. I super appreciate it. For those of you who do not know what membership is all about on the Michael Fire Jr. channel, it helps me to continue to make content. It helps you. There are two tiers. The first tier, you can become a super supporter, and you're just basically saying thank you, Mike, for the content that you do. I want to help you continue to do it. The second tier gives you access to the Discord server. You can interact with me and Michael, Tech Sam, and the Magician, and lots of other amazing folks like the Lights D and everything else. You can access that with the membership button down below. Oh, my face flew off. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Project K. I do appreciate it. Let's go get Blood's question. I've already attempted to answer Blood's question multiple times.
All right.
okay.
All
All
right.
right. So Blue-Eyed's question
We got a new
is,
member, Paja K. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. I didn't see him say hi in the chat, but I really do appreciate it. Poor Dobby. Yeah, Dobby's face flew off there, right? Back to the waterfall rocks.
Yep,
I think Microwave is tracking your location. You better be
I
careful.
think so. I think so, but I'm sure that they'll be all over the map.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure the Serengeti and this beautiful waterfall are in the same area.
I don't know. Those lions could be up on top of that hill. You never know.
They could be. They could be. Hopefully
Well,
not.
Let's answer Blue-Eyed Skadi's question before she gets mad and yells. If Dr. Rob Allen did say Slayer, so there we go. It's in there.
It's in there. Okay. Okay. Question: how can I stop my microphone from going into my headset when I stream?
How can I stop my microphone from going into my headset when he screams?
Stream.
Stream.
Stream. She.
Okay. She. Oh, that's right. It's Blue-Eyed Skadi.
Blue-Eyed
Of course
Skadi.
it's she. Well, moron. All right. So, and by the way, AJ Green, it looks like he is heading out. AJ, thank you so much for stopping by, man. I really do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to have you here. I hope we see you again next week, brother. Thank you. Let's go over here and let's all right. So, right here we have our video capture device. It has my microphone in it. If I click on here and I go to properties, or if I go to advanced audio properties, you can see right here my default is monitor off, which means that I cannot hear myself in my headphones right now because the monitor is off. It's still going out to the stream, but the monitor's off. If I drop this down and I wanted to hear myself, I can go to monitor and output, and now I can hear myself, and it's going out to the stream. Or I could just monitor only, and that way only I can hear it, and it doesn't go out to the stream. So those are the three settings that you can set up in here in audio monitoring, and that's what it is. So if you're looking to just have it go out to your audience, but you can't hear it, you want to set it up to monitor off. And there you go. Oh, hey, Jelly! I can hear yourself. Thank you, Jelly. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. That is epic. Epic. Let's get another question in. Yeah. We're back here to the frigid cold.
Oh, it's fine. It won't be this way for long. All right. Question from Robotrix.
Hello, Robotrix.
If
Domo
I have-
arigato.
Yes. If I have all settings, scenes, etc. for one show, is it possible to save or export them to a folder for use in other computers?
Absolutely it is. All right, so I have lots of scenes and scene collections in here. For example, if I go over to my medieval one, this is the one that I use on Twitch. You can see I have lots of scenes in here, lots of sources, all that fun stuff. I can take this scene collection and move it to another machine by going up here to scene collection and going to export. And then I just name it right here and I save it to the location on my machine where I want to save it. Then I could put it on a thumb drive or something like this right here. I could just put it on a thumb drive, take it to the other machine, and then on the new machine, I copy it to the hard drive. Don't do it off the thumb drive. And you also want to copy all the stuff that's in the scenes. So in other words, if you look in here, there are assets that are in this that I'm going to want to have on the new machine. You know, like this video file and this video file, and you know, on the main screen, and my, you know, all the assets that are on this, we're going to want to have those on our new scene. So create a folder and copy all those onto the thumb drive as well. And then copy them all off your thumb drive onto the hard drive in a specific folder, and then you go into scene collection and you import, and you just grab that JSON file that you just created, and it will import them all in here. Now what could happen is you could end up with a screen that comes up like this with a list of files that it can't find. Because you already copied them all over, all you have to do is point it to the correct files, and when you're done, everything will be set up exactly like it was on your old machine. Now just keep in mind that your scene collections and your profiles are the stuff that's in your settings file. Those are two different things, okay? So let me get back here. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one. So your profile, all the stuff in your settings are these right here, and you can export those as well. Copy them onto that thumb drive, take them with you. So you import your profile and you import your scene collection, and as long as you moved all the files with it, you have everything that you need to set up the exact same stream on another machine. Now, if you're going from PC to Mac, be aware that if you don't have all the plugins and everything installed, then you could run into problems. But generally speaking, I did my live stream from a PC to a Mac when I tested my Mac stuff, and it worked just fine with a couple of tweaks and adding of plugins and that sort of stuff. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question.
Okay.
Oh, you're out at sea now, huh?
Oh, no, not sea. Well, I'm on the beach. It's okay
You're
if
on
I'm
the
on the
beach.
beach. I'd rather not
You're
be
beaching
on
it, babe.
I'm beaching it. Yeah. Yeah. Except I have this little metal hat or whatever this is right here. I don't know what that is.
TO94, there is a form that you can ask your questions on. Tech Examined or Dr. Rob Allen or the Logician will drop the link to the form, and you can put it in there so your question will be answered in the order that it's received. All right, babe.
Yes. Okay. This question is from Hanky Panky 70.
Ooh, all right.
Okay. There's a couple questions, so I'll read everything, and then you tell me whether you want me to ask them separately or if it's all
Okay.
together is okay. All right. How easy is it to have other people live on OBS while streaming on Facebook? And do they speak the same as you, or is there lag? What do they need to come live? I've done this years ago and had them on a live with me on OBS and got him on via Skype, and the lag was terrible.
Okay. Well, let me just show you what I do. Okay, so I'm going to drop this down again and I'll show you. So this is my main screen for my Twitch stream. And of course, I'm in the main box and we have these, and I actually have another frame right here. So you can see I have up to 3 guests on my live stream when I'm streaming on my Twitch account. Those people are all not in my house. They're all somewhere else. And basically, I connect them in a very simple way. So let me go over here and I'll show you. Okay, so Monica is also not here. She's in another location. We're connecting her remotely. To do that, I am doing a display capture, okay? And then we're going to be dropping this down and capturing the display. I believe it's this one right here. There we go. So that is Monica's screen right up here. And you can see Michael is in here as well, right there. So I have 3 people in here. I can remove her so that you could see all of us. But basically, I just add people in that way, and I configure my boxes in the correct way to add everybody. And that is how I do it. Now, the application that I'm using is called Melon. I've used StreamYard in the past, and I've also used Restream Studio. Either of those, any of those will work just fine, and that is basically how I do it. If I wanted to add audio from my guests, because a lot of people find this to be tricky. So if I load up here, if I look up here, I have my audio in here so they can hear me, and I have my audio go into my headphones, right? So if I wanted to load audio from them into here, I would go to audio output capture, and then I just have the audio that I'm listening to it in. In this case, it would be my my Zone wireless headphones, if I can actually find them right there. All right, so now we've added our guest audio. Go ahead and say something, honey. And there you go. So the audio output capture. So now we've added guest audio in here, and we have my audio in here. So now we could do whatever we want. We can we could go ahead and grab this box. I can hold down the Alt key, and I can crop it up so that it's in any way that I want. And if I wanted to add multiple guests, I have the opportunity to do the same thing, which is exactly how, let me remove this so Monica can be removed. Doesn't have to be, I'm sure she wants to be looking at what the next question is, and we'll remove this. And that's basically what I do for my live stream right here. So I have me here, right? And on Melon, what I can do is I can add my game to the Melon screen so everyone can see my game as well as the game that they're playing. And then when I do that, it organizes all of the cameras at the top of the screen. And of course, my camera is one of them. Well, I just remove I just basically capture their camera area on the screen, and that's what's produced right here, and right here. So, and you saw that my background is green. So I use the chroma key to remove the background so it looks like they're all separate individual cameras. So there's lots of different tricks that you can do. There's not a lot of lag if you do it with an application like Melon or Restream or StreamYard. And if you're interested in any one of those applications, you want to check it out, try it for yourself, there are links in the description down below so that you can check them out. I recommend any one of them. They're all pretty awesome. I personally like Melon. It is my personal favorite, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be your personal favorite. They all pretty much do the same thing. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you. That's how I do it. Let's get another question.
Okay. Next question is from Rider Jitsu.
Well, hello, Rider Jitsu.
They are at work, so they can't see the stream, but they're listening. And they say, if you have a video about this, I apologize. What is the best way to do interviews where I can save the interview files and edit them to upload instead of going live? They're just starting their channel, so any advice would be welcome.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm assuming that you're looking for audio and video in your interviews. And there are a couple of things that I've seen out there that will do it. If you want it done, in fact, a lot of people use the applications that I just talked about, Melon or StreamYard or Restream, because I think they have a record feature where you can just get on and you can record. And some of them, if not all of them, actually allow you to record each person's audio separately. So Melon, Restream, and StreamYard, I believe, all have features that allow you to do that, although they are paid features on the pricier side. If you wanted to use a tool that's specifically designed for that, I would probably recommend Riverside.io, I believe it's called. There might even be a link in the description, but I did a video about Riverside a long time ago. Tech Examined or The Logician can drop the link in here. And basically, Riverside is made for creating podcasts, but it also takes video. And it saves it all so that you can download each person's separate video and separate audio files and mix them together in any way that you like. And last time I played around with it, it was really very good. So hopefully one of those guys can drop that video in there, and there might actually be links down below in my description to the software as well. It's called Riverside, and it's very good. It's probably the best thing to look for what you're looking for. Riverside Video. There you go. Thank you, Michael, or thank you, the Logician. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Let's get another epic question.
Question from the God Pharaoh.
Well, hello.
How can I hear my Stream Elements alerts while playing a game full screen or windowed?
How can I use Stream Elements alerts?
How can I hear my Stream Elements alerts while playing a game?
Super easy. Super easy. Super easy. All right, so we have this set up here. I'm going to go over into my Stream Elements account, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into our streaming tools and my overlays. We're going to go in to edit our overlay right here. This one has the Hype Cup in it and stuff, but that's okay. It's an example. I'm just going to copy this out of here. We're going to go into our example. We're going to click the plus, and we're going to go and create a browser source, right? We'll just call this alerts. It's always a good habit to get into to name your stuff what it's actually supposed to be. We'll paste it in here. We know it's 1920 by 1080 because that's how I set it up. So we'll do the 1080 here. And right here is the key that you're looking for. Control audio via OBS. So you check that right there, right? And then we click OK. Now our alerts are going to load up, and if I go like this, we can test them. Oh, come on. Why are you not working the way that you're supposed to work? All right, there we go. Boom. All right, so now I can test it. You'll be able to see that the alerts are working. So there we go. Okay, so if I wanted to be able to hear those alerts in my live stream, all I have to do is, you can see right here. Now we've added the alerts in. I just click the gear, go to Advanced Audio Properties. Right now it's set to monitor off. If I want to be able to hear it and I want the stream to hear it, I just drop this down and I go to Monitor and Output. And there we go. Now I can hear it and the stream can hear it. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if I right click on alerts, right? And I go to Properties and I uncheck this, guess what? It disappears. There's no audio. So you have to have that box checked. That's the whole key right there. Control audio via OBS. If you have that checked, then you're going to be able to go ahead and control your audio through Advanced Audio Properties. You can monitor and output, or you can have it off so you don't hear it. Hopefully that solves your problem and shows you how to add your audio there. Let's go back here and fix this just right so we're back in a good place. Wait, hold on a second. We're not going to be back in a good place. Boom. And activity feed. And there we go. There we go. Let's get, let's pop another question in here, guys. We're really getting to them tonight. Right, hon?
Right. Right.
Uh-uh.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
I don't know. I mean, everyone else is taking a nap, so maybe it's time.
You want to just chill?
Yeah. Let's just chill. Oh, honey, what are you guys doing? Just clowning around over here. All right. What's the next question, beautiful?
Okay. Next question comes from Piebot. Piebot, I
Piebot.
apologize. Yeah, I apologize if that's mispronounced.
I like
Question-
pie.
I like pie too.
Mm.
Why does my OBS recording look darker than what I see when playing a game?
Huh. Well, it's possible that you have a monitor that's not calibrated properly. So it sends out the signal and it records on your stuff, and then when you bring it back into your machine, it shows you more like what it is on the screen. I mean, that's the only thing that I can really think of that would cause it to look different on your screen and on the actual stream would be some sort of monitor calibration problem or something like that. I have 3 monitors here that I use, and all 3 of them have different looks to them. Some monitors are really good at giving you as close to what the signal should be as what the colors should be as they're supposed to be, and some monitors aren't. Generally speaking, the more money that you spend, the more closely it will be to what you're actually putting out. So hopefully that makes sense to you. That's the only thing that I can think of that would cause that problem, though. Let's get another question.
Okay, this question is from Chompy.
Hello, Chompy.
Is there any way to monitor your microphone through OBS with no delay?
No.
Okay.
OBS processes your audio. Anything that processes your audio is going to give you a minuscule delay of a couple of seconds or so. So, unfortunately, no. You're always going to get a little bit of a delay. What's the next question, beautiful?
Okay. This question is from Simplicity ASMR. Hey, Simplicity.
Hello, Simplicity.
Simplicity says, OBS is crashing on me. I'm back to using Streamlabs until I can use OBS again. Why would it keep crashing on me?
All right. So what I would recommend that you do, Simplicity, and let's go over here so I can show you. If we go up to Help, we can go to Crash Reports and Log Files. You can show your log files right here. Take those log files, go over to the OBS forum. Let me show you. Let's see here. It's probably some sort of a plugin that's causing problems for your machine. But if you go over here to the OBS project and then you go over to their forum, you can find Windows support, Mac support, and Linux support. You just go into your specific one and then you go and create a new thread. Obviously, you have to log in. It's simple to get a login. Anybody can do it. You log in. You say, hey, my OBS keeps locking up or rebooting or whatever. Here is a log file. Take the newest log file, stick it in there. Somebody will get back to you and say, well, it looks like this plugin is causing problems. And they'll probably even be able to help you to remove the plugin that's causing the problem. So that would be my recommendation to you to solve your problem. So there you go. This happens occasionally, especially when you go from an older version to a newer version, and maybe you have some older plugins in there that aren't updated or something like that. So, all right, babe.
Okay. Next question is from Break In Build. And they say,
right.
I use a Windows capture in an OBS scene to show YouTube for me to react towards different content. Every
Okay.
time I pull up the scene, I have to go in and change the source so the window points to the correct window for Chrome. Is there any way to fix this so I'm not required to change the name in the source each time? I use match title, otherwise find window of same type, but that doesn't work.
Okay. Well, there are solutions to this. My solution, if you notice, every time I go to Monica's screen, which is a browser source that's in Chrome, it's always there. I never have to worry about it. I can bring it up next week. It'll still be there, even if the window has a different name. The reason why that is because it's a display capture. It's not a window capture. Windows change names all the time. It's difficult to track the way that they work. But let me go in here and see if I can kind of help you. The best way to do it is to put it on a separate monitor. That way it's always there. You always can see it. You don't have to worry about it. But let's go into, what is a window capture? And then we'll bring this in. All right, so you've got your window right here, right? Especially for like game captures and stuff, the windows are always going to be named the same thing. But for like this one here is my YouTube chat. This YouTube chat is always going to be called Studio YouTube Live Chat. So the capture method is automatic, and the match priority. Match title, otherwise find the window of the same type. And that's kind of the standard basic one. Windows of the same executable is not going to help you because generally speaking, all the windows that are open with Chrome are going to have the same executable. You can try match window with the same title, but really if you're using otherwise find window of the same type, you're using the best that you pretty much can. So there's really not any way to fix that, unfortunately. And you can see that it says that it's supposed to pick up the cursor capture, but it doesn't. They lie. They lie. But anyway, yeah, you're kind of already doing it right. The best way to overcome that is to get another monitor, stick the stuff up on the other monitor, because as you can see, all I have to do is go to display capture, and I just pick the display that I want, which always has what I'm looking for. So once you put that in once, you don't have to put it in again. You just make sure that you put the same thing on that display every week for your stream, and you're all set. Let's get another question. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to give you a better answer than that, unfortunately. But it is what it is. All right, babe. What you got?
Onion's in the house.
Onion's in the house. Onion, I did explain what's up with my live streams for Tuesdays and Thursdays before. I know you weren't here, but basically the gist of it is, let's go over here so you can actually see me talking to him. Basically, the gist of it is, I originally started streaming to Twitch because I want to push the envelope. I want to try new things. I want to test new things. Basically, it turned into, boy, I'm just going to sit here and play games for 3 hours and have fun, which is great. But I'm not really accomplishing what I set out to accomplish. So what I want to do is take the time to put together new streaming assets, new streaming pieces, new things to test, and then we're going to do it again, and we're going to have fun with it. But I don't want to just use it for the sake of going live for 3 hours to play games. I want to use it to test all the things I want to test. So until I have the spare time to go and create new stream assets, create new chat assets, create new all that stuff so I can test it out, we're going to kind of hold off. But you and Blue Eyed Skadi will obviously, and Michael, of course, will be the first ones to know when we're going to pick it up and do it again. So please don't be discouraged. We will definitely be live streaming on Twitch again very soon. Very soon. Alrighty, babe. What you got?
Okay, I have a question from Tom Waddell. Says, does the
All
Move
right.
Transition plugin work when OBS is in studio mode?
Yes. Let's see. Whoops. Let's go over here. So if I put my, let's see, I'll put my Move Transition on right here, and I'm just gonna take the defaults. So right here we got this scene. We'll add another scene, and we'll add my camera into the other scene. And we'll just use the same camera, and we'll shrink it up here, and we'll create another scene, and we'll put the camera in the other scene. Let's see, video capture device. Put this camera in the same scene, and we'll shrink it up here. And just for fun, well, no, that's fun enough. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in studio mode right here. And so if I wanted to transition to this scene, I transition. You're gonna see over here, it's gonna do the Move Transition. And then if I wanted to go to this scene, you're gonna see that it transitions like that. So yes, it works in the Move Transition. This is, if you've never seen studio mode, this is a preview of what's next. And then this is the current scene that's live. So I know this scene is next, but if I wanted this scene to be next, I can just select it, and then that would be next. All I have to do is hit transition. It will go to the next scene. What the Move Transition does is it allows you to transition elements of your screen smoothly. So I can make this camera zoom in just by hitting this transition right there. And we can zoom back out by hitting that. So it absolutely does work in studio mode. And now you know. Let's click fade. We'll remove this. And we'll remove this. That is a good question. I like that question. You guys are amazing. I absolutely love, yeah, I absolutely love these sorts of questions. It's awesome. Let's go and get another question.
Next
All right.
question from Creative Cracklers.
Hello, Creative Cracklers.
How can you put chat on the stream?
Oh my. Well, I just did a video about that this week. So if Tech Examine or Dr. Rob Allen or a Siberian Foxclaw want to just drop that in there real quick, you can do that. I will also demo it right now. Let's go over here, and I'm going to click the plus. I already have my chat popped out. So if you're not aware of how to pop out your chat is usually going to be right here. There's going to be a little thing at the top, a little 3 dots. You just click it, it will pop out your chat, right? This is your live streaming thing. And Twitch has the same kind of thing. So you'll be able to find the chat pop out in their thing. It's the 3 little dots. You click it, and you say pop out chat. And you can see it. It's right here. I have the pop out chat right here. Now I have to reformat my screen here. Hold on. Boom, and make it right. All right. So if I just wanted to do this the easiest way possible, what I would do is a window capture. Let's see. It looks like I already have a window capture in here, but I don't. Do I? No, I don't. All right. We're gonna do a window capture, and there it is. There's the chat right there. So boom, I can just grab the chat. I don't obviously want this like that, so I'm just gonna hold down the Alt key. I'm gonna crop it up like this, and I'll crop it down like that, and I'll just place it wherever I want it on the screen. And that is the easiest way to do it. If you are interested in learning how to do it this way, right here, I have a tutorial that shows you how to do that as well. That is the Twidget pop-out chat video. If anyone wants to toss that in there, that will also show you how to do it. So there's a couple different ones. What was that, Michael? Okay, and then there's a second way to do it, and Tech Examine is going to post that in there as well. Let's go get another question.
Okay,
All right,
this
babe.
question is from Microwave.
Well, hello, Microwave.
He says, how long have you had your channel, and why did you decide to do helpful OBS stream videos?
All right. Well, let me move this back because I had this moved up because Dusty was in here. All right, let's go over to the main stream. So I about 4 years ago, I saw a Casey Neistat video and I really loved it. I was totally enamored, and I said, I like that. I want to do that. I want to do that. So I was gainfully employed at the time and said, well, you know what I'm gonna do vlogs. I'm gonna try to do a daily vlog and just talk about what's going on in my life and all that fun stuff. And you know, so I started vlogging every single day, trying to figure out content. And as it turns out, within a day or two of me starting to do that, I got laid off anyways, which gave me a lot of free time to do it. So I started doing that every single day, and eventually, well, we'll get to what happened. But anyway, I decided I wanted to try to grow my channel. I was going to take a trip. I did something called the Travel Adventure Series, where I would travel to different parts of the country. I would hike trails that were in the local area. And every morning I would go live on my cell phone to talk to an audience who may or may not be interested in meeting with me to hike. And I had a $50 Amazon gift card for anyone who would come out and hike with me, which no one ever claimed, by the way. But either way. So I did that for a pretty long time. Between the vlogs and the live streams, the live stream kind of grew into something that I did when I was back home. I was live streaming at the same time, in the same hour, every single day, Monday through Sunday, every single day. So I produced, for the first year or two, I produced one video every single day, at least, and one live stream every single day. So within the first 2 years of my YouTube experience, I had about 700 videos and well over 300 live streams. And that's where I got my experience. Now, there are some pitfalls to this, but there's no faster way to learn than doing it every single day. I can tell you that right now. It was one of the things that got me into the habit. It got me the bug of creating content. So it's the reason why I'm probably so obsessed with it. But the flip side is, most people don't have the same kind of storytelling prowess that someone like Casey does, especially when you're just starting to film. It's difficult to tell a story visually, a lot harder than you would think it is. It's not the same as just putting clips together in the right order. That doesn't tell a story, at least not one that people are interested in. And come to find out that it's kind of tough to vlog when your life's just not that interesting. Why would anyone care? And if I'm being honest, I figured out a lot later that that's not really the content that Casey started doing either. You know, he was doing other stuff when he got huge. And that's a pitfall that a lot of new YouTubers fall into. A lot of people fall into the, ooh, I love what this guy is doing, I want to do that. And they don't actually realize that that's not what made that person's channel popular. As you become more popular on YouTube, your channel kind of evolves in a certain way, and it kind of has to, because your content has to appeal to the people who are already watching your channel first, and second to the people who are coming in new. So just the natural growth of a channel will evolve it from what it starts as to what it ends up being in the end. And that's just a little something. But so basically, I was live streaming every single day. Eventually, we started live streaming in a studio. And because I had live streamed every single day for 2 or 3 years, I said, you know, I know a lot about live streaming. And people are asking lots of live streaming questions. Maybe I ought to just change this channel over to answer live streaming questions. And the second that I made that jump, things started to take off and the channel started to do well, which is another really, really good, important tip for anyone who wants to create a YouTube channel and be successful. Find a niche that people want that people want to know about, people are interested in, and only produce content in that niche. People who just produce content about whatever they feel like don't generally find success on YouTube, because how does somebody know to find your channel if you're not talking about anything specific or interesting? So there you go. Find a niche and do the same sorts of content all the time. Generally, stuff that helps people is the easiest way to find an audience. But that's how I started, and hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question.
Okay. Next question comes from Squeaks7186.
Well, hello, Squeaks.
I stream Warzone on Streamlabs, and I can get my Discord audio, but not the game chat audio through the game. Do you think that is a game issue, or is it Streamlabs? I can hear them in my headset, but not on the live.
Interesting. Okay, well, it could be the nature of the way that you're capturing audio. Are you capturing audio specifically directly from the game, or are you capturing audio from your desktop audio? Because chances are you're hearing your... if you set your audio to capture whatever your headphones are capturing, you should capture your... you should capture all the audio that you need. Now, I don't have Streamlabs on my machine, so I can't set it up, but I can show you how I would do it on OBS, which should basically be the same. So right now, we're producing a stream that's capturing and sending out my microphone audio. If I wanted to capture the audio from Monica talking to me, or if I was running a game, or if I had music on another screen, the easiest way to do that is with audio output capture. And then whatever I'm using to listen to my audio, in this case, my Zone wireless headset, I can put that on there and boom. So now anything that I can hear in my headset is going to also be broadcast out to the stream. Hopefully that makes sense. That is how I would do it. If for some reason that does not work, then it's a game thing. Unfortunately. Oh, our bots are back. Our bots are back and they're going crazy. All right. What you got, babe?
I got a question from Dr. Rob.
Hello, Dr. Rob. If that
Okay.
is your real name.
I think it is. Okay, how come the small icons by name, which is in quotes, are showing a bad image logo, like the page with a green square on it? Look in your chat restream window on the overlay page.
Yes, I do see it. It actually shows up on my chat replay as well. I don't know. That's a really good question. I wonder if I refresh it, it still shows some of them, but not all of them. I have a funny feeling that that's like a Twidget update thing. I need to go and let's go over so folks can actually see what I'm talking about. Over here, we're not getting like the icons and stuff that we should be getting. And if I go into settings, I wonder, I don't know if I'm on the newest version of OBS. I might be able to refresh. Let's see here. I would have to find the proper scene. Since I have 5 million scenes in here, it's really difficult to do actually while I'm live. But, you know, the thing is I'm not totally certain what is causing it, but I might just be using an old, outdated version of Twidget. NS Chat. NS Chat. So switch to scene. Yeah, so that doesn't have a refresh, unfortunately, on it. I don't know why it doesn't, but it might be that I don't have the newest version. Oh, blame the bots for breaking the chat. It could be. I wish I had a good explanation for you on that, but you know, I could probably message him and ask him why it's doing that, and maybe he can tell us how we can fix it. Because I'd be fascinated. I'd really like to fix that as well. It could be some sort of a cache problem. I don't know why it is, but unfortunately, I can't make it stop. I can't fix it because there's no refresh on it right now. Let's go get another question, though. Thank you, Dr. Rob.
Okay. Next question is from Clem the Sim.
Hello, Clem.
How is your computer set up? I want to know the basic computer to stream better.
All right, well, let's go over to my main stream, or my main screen, and let me show you. So I don't have, this machine right here is a freaking supercomputer, so this is not a particularly good example. This machine only happened because my YouTube channel had some success, and I had money coming in to be able to update my equipment. But let me bring it up here. Let's see. Right here are the PC specs that I was streaming with just 1 month ago, and still able to do all of the same things that I'm doing right now. So as you can see, I was using a Core i7 5930K. I had 16 gigs of RAM, and I had a GeForce NVIDIA GTX 970. As you can see, none of that equipment has been made for quite some time. We are now on the 30 series and almost the 40 series. So since my GPU, since my graphics card was created, we got the 1070, the 1170, the 2070, and the 3070. So I'm 4 generations behind. It's been a very, very long time. Hipster's still using it. It's a good card. It gets the job done. The thing is any NVIDIA card is going to be good because it does the encoding. And if you're just trying to do a simple stream where you're talking to an audience, all you really need is an NVIDIA graphics card and 16 gigs of RAM. It doesn't even matter what the CPU is, really. It's nice to have a good one, but you can get away with an i5 or whatever. The other thing that's nice to have is a second monitor, honestly. So if you have a second monitor, I think that's pretty helpful. But really, just an NVIDIA graphics card would be the basis for whatever it is, because the NVIDIA graphics card will do all the video encoding. It allows me to do everything that I'm doing right now with almost no work on the with almost no work to the CPU. So it really doesn't matter what the CPU is because it's barely using it. All right, let's get another question. Hopefully that helps you out.
Okay.
And now that graphics card prices are coming down again too, I don't feel so bad talking about it. But all right, go ahead, babe. Sorry.
Question from Dimebag.
Hello, Dimebag.
Is there any way to control the camera focus, exposure, zoom when streaming directly from the YouTube app from an Android device?
Camera focus and zoom when streaming direct from an Android device.
From
All
the
right.
YouTube app. Yeah, from an Android device. Sorry.
All right, so I'm pretty sure I have a... So basically, you are talking about you have your Android phone, you're on the YouTube app, and you're streaming directly to YouTube. There is no way that I'm aware of, and I don't have an Android phone to test this out. I mean, I know that on the Windows version, I don't think there's anything you can really do. You might be able to pinch to zoom in or something like that, but there's no real way to adjust the focus or anything like that because YouTube uses whatever camera you set, and that's what camera it uses. You can't use, as far as I know, if you're using the YouTube app, like portrait features and things like that. The easiest thing to do is use a PC and move your phone stuff to the PC. Then you can modify it in OBS to have a different crop or, adjust the picture quality and that sort of stuff. But as far as what you're able to do physically in the YouTube app, I don't think it gives you the ability to do any camera adjustments or anything like that from an Android phone or an iPhone. So unfortunately, I think you're kind of stuck there. But, it is what it is. All right, babe, what you got?
Got one from Richie B.
Oh, hello, Richie B.
If possible, can you show us how to duplicate an OBS stream profile of user number 1 in order to set up user number 2 without starting from scratch?
Okay. Well, let's see here. I just showed this not too long ago earlier in the stream. But if you're looking to set up profiles or you're looking to save out scene collections or anything like that, it's really easy to do. So you just save a new scene collection in here. So you don't really even, unless you're using it on a different machine, there's really no way to save it out. So let's say you have two people that are doing completely different live streams on the same computer. That's okay. You just go in here, you create a new profile for the second person, and you just enter it in. Now, you're talking about you want to be able to do it without creating a new one. You want to just be able to duplicate it. Well, that's fine too. You can go into the scene that you're in, and you can just duplicate it, and then you can go into the profile that you're in and duplicate it. And for those who aren't aware, profile are all the settings that are down here in your settings, okay? And scene collection is the collection of scenes. So if I go over to one that has more, there we go. You can see it's all the collection of scenes. And if I just wanted to duplicate that, I go up here and I click duplicate. It will make a Medieval 2. Okay? So that is how you can duplicate the exact same scene without doing any work. Then you can just go and rename them, whatever you want, so that you know which scene is which. And then you can modify them as you see fit. That's how you do it. And let's make sure we're on the right profile here. We are. All right, let's go get another question from the beautiful Monica.
Okay. Question from MW.
All right.
Do you use any mixers like Go XLR, Beacon Mix, or Voice Meter?
Go ahead. I'd repeat that.
Do you use any mixers like Go XLR, Beacon Mix, or Voice Meter?
You mean Goxler?
I do, but
Uh-oh. Dr. Rob.
Thank you, Dr. Rob. Yes. I wish I could have answered Dr. Rob's question better tonight. I kind of let you down, brother. I apologize. But Dr. Rob says, Slayer. Love you all. You are the best. Dr. Rob, you're the best, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah. Goxler. Yeah. That's right. Monica's the Goxler Empress. Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dragon. Dragon's coming. Oh my gosh. Gotta run. He's gonna get me. Yeah, there's something wrong with me. I know. There he is again. It's that high-pitched squeak that gets me every time. Oh, Dr. Rob, you're the best, man. Thank you. By the way, Street Tunes, links in the description down below. You can get your, you get your groove on. Free. Without ever having to worry about getting strikes on your channel. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to get their medieval groove on once in a while. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Let's get my question answered. Thank you, Dr. Rob.
Yeah. That was too much fun. That dragon, though, it's scary. Someday it might get me.
one day, but I doubt it.
Of course, the logician's going to drive to Pennsylvania and bring a vial of 3-in-1 oil. 3-in-1 oil. I used some. What is it?
WD-40. He told you
WD-40.
that's not what you're supposed to use.
It's not.
No.
Well, there's so many things squeaking on this. I need 7-in-1 oil, for God's sakes.
You just need a new chair.
Yeah. If somebody actually came and looked at this chair, they'd be horrified. They're like, "You're using that? This thing weighs like 400 pounds, and it's old and dingy."
Yeah.
We brought this chair from the company that I used to work for, so it's got to be 15 years old.
Yeah.
But it still sits.
Siberian Foxclaws is going to bring the chair.
All the way from New Zealand. That would be awesome. I think Siberian Foxclaws from New Zealand. I could be wrong. I've been wrong once, maybe twice.
Once?
New York. Oh, New Zealand, New York. That's right. I was right.
New Zealand, New York. Okay.
You know what the worst part is, Dr. Rob? I've actually had companies offer to send me a chair. But then I have to talk about their product, and it's like, it's not what I really do here.
Yeah.
You know? We'll
Yeah.
send you a free chair. Just talk about it. I don't know. You know, the thing is, and this is something else that you guys are going to run into as you grow on YouTube. And you know what? Let's take 5 and we'll have this. Companies are going to be like, yeah, we'll send you that. All you have to do is do a video on it, or we'll send you that. And you could just talk about it on your live stream. Can I just tell you guys, it feels really fun at the beginning when you're getting like cool free stuff. But let me tell you something. You can't pay your editor with free stuff. You can't feed your kids with free stuff. You know what I mean? So after a while, with all these companies offering to send you stuff, but nobody wants to sponsor your channel or pay you anything so you could actually pay your editors or get a better life. No, they don't want to do that. They want to send you, you know, a $20 chair. Oh, man. So just be wary of that. Bean Can Build, thank you so much for my chair fund. I really do appreciate it. At some point, we've had so many people comment that I need a new chair and has actually donated to the chair fund that we're probably going to cross the chair fund thing eventually. It's going to happen. That's right, Dr. Rob Allen. Free products do not pay the bills. As much as I love getting free products from companies, my kids just didn't like the taste very much. So, oh, yeah. Well, anything. Your kids can't eat the product. They can, but you can use the money that they send you to promote their product from you know, for that sort of stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was a Beacon Build. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Break and build. I was close. Break and build. Thank you so much, Break and Build. See, they correct me in my headset, guys. I'm not actually talking to my head. I'm not just talking to myself. But here's the thing. When you get to the point where you're working 35, 40 hours a week creating content, and a company comes to you with something that may or may not do well on your channel, and they say, well, we just want to send this to you, but we don't want to pay you for it. We're just going to pay you with the chair or, you know, whatever it happens to be. The economics really aren't there because you're spending 20 or 30 of your hours to create the content that may or may not do well on your channel. And, you know, maybe you get a little bit of ad revenue from it, but you know, you're promoting you're basically promoting their company for next to nothing. Because as we all know, when you're the company who builds the product, the amount of money that it costs you to build the product is significantly less than what you sell it for. So it's literally costing them nothing while it costs you 30 or 40 hours or however long it is plus an editor to do the content. So yeah, it's nice when it first happens to your channel and you're going to love it. But, you know, just keep in mind the economics of the whole thing and make sure you watch out for yourself first because, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense after the first couple. Let's get another question.
Did you answer the Goxler question?
Oh, I did not. Can you repeat the Goxler question? I
Yes,
got
they
so
want to.
sidetracked there.
Do you use any mixers like Goxler, Beacon Mixer,
Yes.
Voice Meter?
Yes. Poor guy's been waiting for his question. I do not use any mixers on my live stream. I like to keep it as absolutely simple as I possibly can from an input perspective. So I have a microphone and a camera. The microphone is actually physically plugged into the camera, so they both come into the computer on the exact same HDMI signal. And then I do have a secondary camera that I use, for example, sometimes. But that is it. That's the only inputs I have, so there's not a lot to mix. Everything else that comes into the stream, audio-wise, it comes from the actual machine, and so I just use the mixer down in the. I use the mixer right here. I use the mixer right here to mix all that stuff to make sure the levels are right. Generally speaking, if you're using quality equipment, there's not a lot of need to modify the audio quality. And I use a really good mic, so that does help. But just keep that in mind. The better, sometimes it makes more sense to remove complication from your live stream by adding just good quality microphone and a good quality camera. And that way it doesn't require any of the mixing or any of the stuff like that that can actually cause lag and more complication to your live stream. So, all right, let's get another question. Hopefully that helps you out. I know it's not always the answers folks want to hear, but unfortunately I don't have any external mixers to even try. MW asks what mic I have. I use a Sennheiser MKE 500, I think. It's either a 500 or a 600. I think it's the Sennheiser MK. Oh, it's the Sennheiser MKE 600. And it's a shotgun microphone because I don't want to have a microphone in my shot. So it's a shotgun microphone, but it is a very good microphone. And the thing I like about it the most, it's an XLR microphone, yes. The thing I like about the microphone the most is it's got phantom power. So I put a battery in there, I turn it on, it's always working. So it is definitely XLR though, it's not USB. And it plugs directly into the camera that I'm using, which is a Sony a6500. And the lens that I'm using is a cheap 35mm kit lens that probably costs like 35 bucks. It's a very inexpensive lens, but as you can see, it works. It does the job. All right, babe, what you got for me?
Dr. Rob has another question.
All right, Dr. Rob.
He says, do you leave this live stream up on your channel for replay?
This is a great question. This live stream will probably be up on my channel for about 5 or 6 hours, maybe till I wake up tomorrow morning. Then I usually remove it because I don't want YouTube pushing this or using suggested content or putting this in people's inboxes or anything like that. Once these videos are done, they're generally done. They're not going to get views, so I like to remove them. I do, however, repost them on another channel so that if you're interested, if you missed the question and you're interested in, maybe you typed it in. I know it takes a while to get to all the questions. Maybe you typed it in, you didn't get to stick around long enough to hear your question answered. The Logician just dropped a link to my live channel down below that you can go and check out the live streams. Usually a few days after I remove them from my channel, they're posted up there. And occasionally you'll even get some funny, humorous videos that are just kind of mixes of the goofiest things that happen on these live streams as well. So you can check those out. So hopefully that helps you, Dr. Rob, so that if you're looking for something specific, you can find it over on the other one, because it'll only be up probably for 12 or so hours, maybe less, after I broadcast this. All right. What's up, babe?
Okay. We have another question from
I hope so.
TO94. I use a webcam for my stream, but when I want to use it in a different app, it doesn't work. Do I need a video capture for that?
Use a webcam in your stream. Go ahead. Keep going.
I use a webcam for my stream, but when I want to use it in a different app, it doesn't work. Do I need a video capture for that?
No. All right. So let me show you kind of what I do. Okay. So if you are capturing your camera in your stream, generally speaking, no other applications can use it. So I know what you're saying, Michael. How are you using it in your other applications? Because if we look here, I'm just going to open this up. We're going to add a window capture here again. And we're going to go and we're going to capture. We're not going to do a window capture at all. That's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. So we're going to do a display capture. All right. So I know what you're saying. How are you using your monitor? And then if I go up here you can see that Melon is also using my camera right here. Well, that's because it's not actually using my camera. I use an application called SnapCam. And let me, hold on. There we go. I'm using an application called Snap Camera. So if I go into the Snap Camera settings, it's using my cam link. There's only one application that can use that. So if I'm using my cam link in Snap Camera, I cannot use it in OBS. But once Snap Camera is using my camera, I can actually load up Snap Camera in a bunch of different applications. So when I go up to here, you can see right here, Snap Camera. That's what it's using. So that's how I'm able to use it in Melon. And when I go in here and into properties, that's how I'm able to use it here. Because it's not using my cam link, that's already being used, and you can only use it once. But I can use, oh, that's right. Look at that. Thanks for that. All right. So here we are. Let's do this again. You can see that if I go into Snap Camera, which is what I'm using, and I go into properties right here, you can see this has my cam link. Only one device can use that cam link, period, end of story. But once I load it into Snap Camera, I could go into my display capture right here, and you can see that I loaded my camera in here, so I can add it into that scene so that they can hear me. And then I can also reuse it right here, Snap Camera. And for the other OBS that I'm running, because obviously I'm running two versions of OBS, so that one that I can demo and do all this stuff on, and one that's actually running the stream, all my cameras loaded in there too, and that's all Snap Camera, which not only gives me the ability to add it to lots of different applications, but I can also do cool things like this. So, there you go. That is how I do it. But if you're bringing the camera in and it's just going into OBS, nothing else can use it. So let's go over into the Monica question cam and see if we've got some more. Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy. How y'all doing?
I'm doing all right. I reckon you got another question for me.
I reckon I do, partner.
All right. Nice.
Okay. This question comes from Tom Sawyer.
Well, hello, Tom Sawyer. You know that hat makes you look like your head's even smaller than usual.
And it is pretty tiny. It actually works well. Some of them are just not good, so I figured I'd do this.
That's a good
The
one.
heck kind of hat is that?
It's a cowgirl hat. It looks like it has a tiara on it though, so.
Oh my. It's a good one. Who's the question asker this time?
This is from Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom
Great
Sawyer
song.
says, yes, he says, appreciate
Jelly
all your
ducks in the
videos.
house. Go ahead. Sorry.
Are you done? Are you sure?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. We'll see.
Okay. Says, I appreciate all your videos that have helped me to set up my stream. Looking for a screen mirror app that works well without extreme lag in OBS on a low-end PC laptop.
Awesome. Well, the beautiful thing is you probably already have it. And I'm actually, I have a video coming out about this soon as well. Let's go over to the tutorial screen here. The beautiful thing is you probably already have it. So we've got this. If I open up a new scene and I click the plus, I can go to source mirror right here. And I can add this camera. I just drop this down and I select the source, which is the video capture device source right here. And there we go. So now that's source mirror. I can do whatever I want. I can add filters to this and it will be totally different than this one right here. Now, how do I do that? That is all done through StreamFX. StreamFX is a plugin that has all that stuff in it. And I actually have a video coming very soon that outlines how to use that source mirror, but there's no lag or anything in that source mirror that's not already in OBS. In other words, it's going to have the same amount of delay as everything else in OBS already has, which is to say not something that you're going to notice because it's basically in real time on your machine. So hopefully that answers your question and all that good stuff. That's what I use. That's why I can do this camera here and that camera there on the same screen, because I'm using source mirror. So it's all the multi cameras. That's why I can have a camera that's shaped like this on this screen, and if I go to my main screen, I can have a camera with a completely different shape and border. And then I can go to this scene right here, and I can just have a regular square camera. You can't do that unless you're using some sort of a source mirror. So that's what I use, and I don't have any problems whatsoever with any kind of latency or lag. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question, beautiful.
Okay, Anthony has a question.
Hello, Anthony.
Have you used Omniverse Audio 2 Face?
I have not. I don't know what that is.
Next question.
Easy question.
Yeah. Next question is from PR Punisher.
Hello,
Says,
PR Punisher.
I'm using the WinCapture audio plugin you showed previously, and when I separate my game audio, my stream doesn't pick up people's voices who are talking in the game chat. Is there a fix or a workaround?
Yeah, I don't know. I get this question all the time, and there's always a workaround. The workaround for me is that I require anyone who's going to appear in game with me to be on camera as well, which means they come into my Melon and they're on screen, and I capture their audio that way. The other workaround is just to have all of your game mates or whatever that you're going to be playing with on Discord, and then capture the Discord audio. Because I get a lot of people that tell me that for whatever reason they get the game audio, but it's not transferring over the game audio with the audio voices from the people that they're playing in game with. And this just has to be something that's built into the game or something, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. If you're capturing your desktop audio or whatever, it should be capturing everything. So if you're hearing it in your headphones and you're capturing your headphone audio, it should be hearing everything. So it's either a setting that you're using, or it's specifically set up by the game to not broadcast the in-game voice audio. I'm not sure which one it is because I haven't tried to. That's just not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to be capturing in-game voice audio from other players. If I'm going to play with other players, I'm going to set it up so you can see those other players on screen with me, or at the very least, they're going to be in my Discord and we're going to communicate that way so I have control over what we hear. Because if you're just playing with random people on the internet, God only knows you could get banned in 20 seconds for playing with somebody. So you're almost lucky that it's not willing to port over to your thing. So the workaround would be to put all your folks in Melon and listen to them that way, or to put all your folks in Discord and capture your Discord audio. That would be my personal workaround. Otherwise, it's something with your audio capture that you don't have it set up right, and that's why you're not hearing it. That's the only thing I can figure. But I get the question all the time, so it's got to be a thing. I just don't know what that thing is because it's not the way that I would capture that audio. All right, babe.
Okay. Another question from TO94.
Hello, TO94.
They want to know how to use specific songs for moments like sad, emotional, or epic.
Haha. Well, the easiest way to probably do it is with a soundboard. So let me go over here and show you. I have a video coming out on this as well, but let me pull it up here, right here. Boom. So I can load up a soundboard right here, and I can add audio. So I can just name the audio sad or whatever. I've shown a bunch of different ways to do it. So this app right here that I'm showing you is a video that's coming soon, so make sure that you watch the channel for when it comes out. But then I just go and I find whatever I'm looking for. Let's see. Let's go to my soundboard. And it doesn't really matter. I can just load whatever, because this is just an example. So if you want a sad, moody song on your stream and you just click sad, it automatically plays it. You can see that it's capturing it right down here. Let's see here. When I play it, it will capture it. So, and that does definitely pick up. So you can go in here into advanced audio properties and change all this stuff up. So if you want to monitor it or something, you can. But that will play on the stream. Obviously, you're not hearing it because I'm not broadcasting with this OBS. This is just a display version. But so that's one way to do it. There are plenty of different things that you can do to set up soundboards. Something like a Stream Deck like this right here. I could set up a soundboard on there. And if I need sad music, I could just click the button or something like that to easily do that as well. So there's lots of ways to do it, but the video on that soundboard app is going to be coming up hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I think. I'm really behind. I have like probably almost a month of videos that are ready to go. So, all right. Hopefully that helps you out. I will just make sure you subscribe so you get that video when it does come out. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay, I have a question from the Illuminati.
Oh my goodness. They're asking me questions. Holy mackerel.
Yes. Their question
The
is
answer is Amazon.
Ooh, that's very deep. Good.
Yeah, I know.
Found your channel and your videos have been super helpful. Thoughts on prioritizing streaming versus uploaded videos? I'm torn on which to focus most of my energy on, as I want to do both, of course.
Okay. Well, prioritize your recorded videos, and especially the aspects of thumbnails and titling for your recorded videos. And the reason why is because a recorded video that hits will hit for months, and it'll get you monetized, and you'll get lots of watch hours and stuff. Generally speaking, a live stream will get viewed once, and then the second that the live stream is over, that video is basically dead. YouTube is not going to share that video. They're not going to suggest that video. They're not going to, especially not to people who aren't already in your audience. So if you want to grow, you focus on recorded content. That doesn't mean that the recorded content can't be excerpts from your stream that you re-edit up and turn them into fun little things. But definitely recorded content should be the focus for anyone who really wants to grow an audience on YouTube. Because right now, and that doesn't mean it's not going to change in the future, but right now, YouTube doesn't know how to play around or suggest 3-hour videos or 2-hour videos that are live streams. It's just not something that people are looking for. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question.
Next question is from Sparse Imagination Aruba.
Well, hello, Sparse Imagination Aruba.
What low-cost camera or webcam would you recommend with a good zoom level?
All right. Well, let's see. I don't know. I mean, a low-cost camera can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And as far as the zoom level, when you're talking about webcams, they don't have a zoom, generally speaking. They are what they are. So if you want to zoom in your webcam, and let me show you. I'll load up my webcam so you can see what I'm talking about. So general webcam, boom. So that's my webcam. You can see my finely manicured fingers. If I wanted to zoom in the webcam, what I can really do is go like this. Or I could go like, I could just crop it and then embiggen it. You know why you don't want to do this? I'll show you why you don't want to do this. Let's zoom this in now that it's zoomed. You see why you don't want to do this with a webcam? Because it's really grainy. It's really grainy. So, yeah, webcams don't deal with lighting problems very well. You can get away with a lot more with a DSLR like the one I'm using. And the thing is DSLR is not cheap. It's not. But I can get 20 different lenses for this DSLR that can be any type of zoom that I want. In this particular case, this is a 35 millimeter, but right back there on the shelf, I have, you know, other lenses. I have a 14 mil. I think that's I think that one is pretty wide to pretty long lens. That's actually adjustable. So the truth is that if you're looking for lenses that zoom and that sort of stuff, you got to kind of go with a DSLR. That's not really what a webcam is about. I mean, some of them, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's add my webcam in here again so I can just show you what I mean. Let's see, webcam. Some of them have this menu right here. All right, and you can see that this webcam is super mega cheap. This was probably like a $20 Amazon webcam. But some of them give you the ability to zoom and focus and all that sort of stuff in here. But it's not going to be very good. It's a webcam. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. But some of them do give you the ability to do that. And if you want to find out if yours does, you can go in here to configure video. If you wanted the most bang for your buck, I would probably recommend the Logitech. I think it's like a C920 or C922 or something like that. That'd probably be the one that I'd recommend just because it's been around forever. So many people are using them. So many people like them. They have to be pretty decent webcams if that many people are using them. So, and I think you can get it for like $35 or $40. So probably like the Logitech C920 or whatever it is probably the one that I would recommend. And that's just for a website. Yeah, Bear's in the house. Look at that. Jelly's in the house. All right, let's get. Oh boy, we've got another visitor. There
Yes.
he is.
He's back again.
Look at him. He's bigger than you.
He looks bigger than me. He's kind of the same size as me.
He's embiggened.
He has
He
been
is a
big.
biggin. Look at the size of that cat. So how many questions do we have?
We are on question 38 of 40. We have 3 questions left.
All right. Sweet. Well, you know what? Let's close the forum down just because I don't, I don't want millions of questions to pour in because we're almost at the end here. So we are going to, there he is, looking right at us. We're going to close that forum down so we make sure we get through all the questions before the end of the stream. That's right. That's right. But at least we've got a good look at the proud kitty.
Yep.
Waiting for his treats.
He is waiting for his treat.
All right, babe. What do we got?
Okay, we have a question from Hamster DMG.
Hello, Hamster DMG.
What are the recommended PC specs for the bare minimum to run Polypop without issues? A friend of mine said Polypop did not run very well while live.
Well, that's really interesting. I'm guessing that you're going to want to have a 3D card. Polypop is 3D. It's a 3D application. So you probably don't want to run it on a laptop that doesn't have some sort of a graphics card, like a real graphics card, not an Intel Iris or something like that. So I'm thinking that if you have a machine that has a real graphics card, you should be okay as long as you're not like doing a lot of the elements that create a million examples of the same thing and stuff like that. If you're not doing that, you should be okay. But I would probably shoot for, a 2070, 3070, or like a 20 series or a 30 series NVIDIA graphics card and a reasonable i5 or i7 Intel processor and 16 gigs of RAM, and you should be perfectly fine. I ran it perfectly fine on my 970. So it says he uses a 1070 and I run a 970. Hamster, I was running it on this machine right here. I can show you the stats just so you can see them. Before I switched over, this is what I was running it on. Here it is. So an i7 5330K, which is literally 7 years old, 8 years old, and 16 gigs of RAM, and a 970. And it was running fine for me. So it could also be a product of what you're doing with it. I run a, yeah, so your i7 is a Gen 3. That should be about the same. I wouldn't be shocked, Hamster DMG, if your machine and the one that I was streaming on before I got this one aren't pretty much identical. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the exact same CPU and everything. So what I would say is, you probably want to test. Just make sure that you're not doing anything that's putting way too much 3D stuff on there. Make sure your video, that if you're using video, is optimized for the resolution that you're streaming at, stuff like that. I haven't really had an issue. His issue might be RAM. It's possible. Like I said, I do have 16 gigs. And Marquette NE19 is using the i9 129K, and that's what I got now. That's what I'm using now. I was lucky enough to grab one. So let's get another question. I hope that answers your question, Hamster DMG. I wish I could be more specific, but it does sound like he's running equipment that I've used and tested or pretty close to it. And so it's got to be something with his setup. He's using large video files or something like that. It's just not optimized properly. All right, babe. Looks like you've got a lap kitty now, huh?
I do. He's just hanging out. He's waiting.
All right.
He's ready. Okay, this one comes from Samuel Jones.
Hello, Samuel.
I am going to start
Jones.
streaming my air traffic controlling experience on a live sim network. The network uses TeamSpeak to talk behind the scenes with other controllers, but we cannot stream the audio from TeamSpeak. Is there a way in OBS to do this without having to mess around with weird settings in Banana?
Yes, there absolutely is. All right. So I did a video on this, and Michael, if you could be kind enough, or the Logician, or Dr. Rob, if you could be kind enough to drop the link in there for Separate Your Audio. This is an application. It's a free plugin, and it's called the Application Audio Output Capture. It is only for PC, just so you know. It's nearly impossible to capture any audio on a Mac, but for PC it's pretty easy. So I could just click this, right? And I can click OK. And I can literally capture any specific audio from any specific application. So I can capture my OBS audio. I could capture audio from a Chrome page. I could capture audio from my calculator if it had it. So if you have TeamSpeak, it will capture audio from TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak would be in here to capture it. I can capture my voice mod or my snap camera or anything, Discord, whatever you want. Any application that you have that's producing audio, well, you just select it right here. In my case, let's select the Melon Audio, and then you click OK, and boom, your application audio output is in there. And when some audio happens, go ahead and talk, honey. There we go. When some audio happens, it will capture it. So hopefully that helps you out. The links are right there to Separate Your Audio. That's going to tell you about the application that you're going to use. It's really super easy, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I will say this. Apparently, there might be some updates since I did the video. So if yours looks slightly different, it's all right. You know, you just got to kind of pick your way through it. I can promise you it still does the same things. And apparently, I'm going to have to download the new version and do an update on it, because some people seem to be confused if everything's not in the exact same place that it was in the video. But that application will definitely do what you want. It's very powerful. Let's get another question.
Okay. This is actually the last question.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So it is from Pianshu from India.
Ooh. Well, hello, Pianchu.
And it says how to do screen mirroring for free. You suggest to do one, but it is limited recording, and then it is paid software.
Right. Well, let's see. I did a video not long ago about another screen capture thing. Michael or the logician, if you could drop the link in there for the first screen capture video that I did. That is the only other application that I know of that you can use it for free. But I will say this, a lot of people had a problem with latency in that app. If you don't care about latency and you don't want to record it, that's perfect. But if you care about latency and you want to record your stuff, you're going to have to pay for it, unfortunately. So that would be kind of the thing. But there is a Tech Exam and just dropped the free mirroring app in there. And honestly, I used it. I liked it. It worked well for me. I didn't notice any lag specifically with my iPhone. And we tested an Android phone in the same app. And I didn't have any problems with it either. But I have a very good network. I was a technician for a very long time. I understand how to set my equipment up. So if you're having problems with it, it could very well be the setup of your equipment or something like that. If you're in a room and your network connection is 9 miles that way, it's going to obviously introduce a lot of latency. Whereas I do live streaming from this room in VR, and so my router is in this room. It's 5 steps away from me, so I can use wireless directly. And by the way, I would never live stream wirelessly, so please don't hear what I'm not saying. I am plugged in directly to the network router from here. You should never live stream wirelessly. Please don't. For anyone who asks questions in here because they're having trouble with lag or latency, if you're on Wi-Fi, that's your answer. It's always your answer. You cannot have a reliable stream on Wi-Fi, and you can't troubleshoot a stream on Wi-Fi. There's just no way to do it. If you plug it in, at least you can get reliable data that tells you something. So please, stream plugged in. It will solve a lot of your problems. J-Man's ASMR. I streamed wirelessly and learned not to do that. And that's not to say that you can't have a great stream wirelessly. What I am saying is you can't troubleshoot something that's going wrong with your live stream if you're wireless. You just can't do it. There's no way to troubleshoot it because it'll work 1 minute and it won't work the next. And there's nothing you can do about it. So there you go. No TeamSpeak. I spoke to my instructor and the chief, and they approved. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Huh? Oh, he's talking to the logician. All right, cool. All right, well, let's go get another question from the Monica question cam.
You can try to get another question, but it's not going to happen. I got no more questions. I got no more questions to give you.
No more questions?
No more questions.
Why not?
We finished. We're 40 of 40. Boom, we're done.
We can't be done. We answered 40 questions tonight?
Yeah, you answered 40 questions today.
Wow. That's a lot of questions, but, it's not exactly crazy number of questions.
No,
125 likes, though. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
I'm telling you. But who turned the questions off? Was it Michael?
No,
Did he do it
I think you have to look in the mirror for that one.
It's probably that Siberian Foxclaw guy. I think they call him Onion in some circles.
Oh, so he's got 2 names.
He does, yes. He's a man of many names. He's very mysterious. If you guys want to get to know the mysterious Siberian Foxclaw, a.k.a. Onion, you can come check out my live streams over on Twitch. We're going to start doing them again soon. And, but I have some up there already. You can check it out. All right. Well, Monica, you shouldn't have closed the questions.
Well, I only do what I'm told. Sorry.
All right.
You should talk to that Michael dude who was on before you. He's the one who actually asked for the questions to be closed.
All right. Well, all right. We don't need to
Run through the entire soundboard. All right, babe.
Okay.
I guess that means it's it. This was an awesome live stream, man. We got so many good questions tonight.
Yeah. Yes, we did. From a whole bunch of different people, which is nice because it's keeping the the chat fresh and the questions fresh. You're getting new ones in. Hopefully they help other people as well, which I think happens a lot too, that people learn stuff just by
I
just
hope
by
so.
listening. So,
I hope so. And I hope we entertain a little bit and have some fun because I
yeah.
love doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for us to go.
Okay. All right. It is time. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Oh, look, you got a haircut.
Yeah, look at that.
How does
Everyone
it
says it's
feel?
supposed to happen. There we go.
How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels very, very light and airy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not sure I like it. We'll go back to the old way.
The goatee does
Yeah.
it for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Unfortunately, if we went this way with the goatee, it'd be a lot more gray. So that's why there's no goatee anymore.
Yeah.
I was a goatee guy once, but once it
I
goes
know you had
gray,
a goatee when we got married.
yeah, we did.
You had that same thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Must suck to have a gray goatee.
yeah. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Excuse me?
Especially when you're 39.
Yeah, I know.
30.
It sucks when
37.
you're
Thank you very much.
27.
27. Sorry, I jumped
Just
again on that
just
one.
for men, Siberian Foxclaw's hooking us up. See you, Jelly. Love you, brother.
See you, Jelly.
Bye,
Oh
Jelly.
man. All right. Well, let's get this.
Okay.
Let's get out of here, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody have a great day, evening, night, morning, whatever time it is. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. I know Michael does too. Hope he answered your questions. If not, we will be back here next week at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Wednesday. So we hope to see you then. Have a good day, rest of your day, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right. And I want to say thanks to all of the amazing folks that make this happen with the membership program and keep the chat fair and safe for everybody. I really do appreciate it. You guys are doing yeoman's work, all my moderators, and it's amazing. So thank you guys so much. As I say every week, most folks out there probably work a regular job. You do the exact same thing every single day. And if I asked you what you did last Wednesday, it's very unlikely that you would be able to actually tell me. And that's because we get into a rut. We do the same things every day. And so if you want to add some meaning to your life and you want to add some interest and some things that help you to increase your memory bank and remember the things that you do instead of having every day be exactly the same, because I worked the same job for well over 10 years in the exact same seat, going to the exact same place, and I remember almost 3 days from that entire 10-year period. And the best way to fix that problem is to do something every single day that's a little different, that changes something. And the easiest way to do that is just to do something nice for somebody else. I mean, you're making the world a better place. It makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. So why not go out there and make the world a better place by doing something nice for somebody else, helping somebody else out that might actually need it. Let's face it, you can't count on your government to make your life better. But we can all take charge of our own lives and what we do and what we put out there in the world. And if we're all looking to make other people's lives better, we're going to make the world a better place. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. It means the world to me. You guys are the best. And I will see you next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only legitimate time zone. Love you guys. See you then. Today's video is sponsored by Envato Placeit. Placeit is a marketplace for all kinds of assets that can help you with your YouTube channel. Things like art and live streaming and video assets. You can create amazing face cams and live streaming overlays really easily. There are hundreds of templates, and each face cam and overlay can be modified with different designs, colors, text, and text fonts. The process is super easy, and you can even incorporate your own logo, or if you're like me, your own Placeit design logo. And you can put it right in your design. This gives you an infinite number of overlays and face cam possibilities for your live streams. And they're so easy to create, you can use a different one every time you live stream if you wanted to. So please, click the link in the description and check out Envato Placeit for yourself. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks that can help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. Supporting the sponsors helps me keep the lights on here so I can continue to make content that helps you. And I couldn't possibly do this without them or you. So thanks. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.